Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Guess what finally showed up? That's right, the Powkiddy V90S. It has finally arrived after being lost in the mail forever. Anyway, so I got home late last night, opened it up, loaded it up with some stuff, just kind of quickly threw some stuff on it to test it out. But I'm gonna save how I feel about it for later on in the video. And you guys know how I feel about unboxing. So let's get this opened up. Okay, it's opened up. Here she is. The camera's gonna be all screwy because I got my monitor on for a reason. But there it is. Look at the glare off the monitor. Maybe let's kill that for a moment. Okay. So first impressions, it definitely feels better than the original V90. If you've ever used the original, the plastic felt really cheap. All of it felt really cheap. But you know what? They did a clamshell before everybody else. So, of course, it's bound to improve. It looks a hell of a lot like the anbernic 35XX SP. I got the same color going on here with them. The one thing that does stand out is this really smooth plastic window. Like, this is kind of textured. Here's your speaker. So this is all kind of foggy and textured, and this is smooth and clear in this window. See? It's odd. I don't dislike it. It's just odd. So, walking around the device, you get, of course, your basic stuff, your A, B, X, Y, your D-pad, your start select, a little menu button. Right side, we have, is that the game slot? Let me look. Hold on a second. Oof, it's always so dark in my office. Nope. Okay, right side's operating system. So, operating system, power, reset, game card, volume. On the back, you got your USB-C ports, your power on the go and all that. Some L&R action. Nothing here. On the back, you get your little door for your battery. So, comparison. I'm not even going to say this is its little brother. It's like its slightly younger brother. Like, this one was born 2 months later. It's just a little bit smaller than the 35XX. The D-pad's a little bit bigger over here. The buttons seem a little bit bigger. The start and select are down lower. The speaker's raised up in the middle, whereas this is in the bottom left. And then you got your menu button in the same spot on both. Whereas this one, though, the menu button's raised out of the shell. This one, it's recessed into the shell. So, and as for buttons, anbernic's clicky. This is very soft. The start button, however, on Powkiddy is as clicky as the anbernic buttons. There you go. Loud start and select. Anbernic's D-pad still has that, it's a quieter click. But Powkiddy's, dead silent. So let's do an opening sound test here. Closing. Anbernic. So both kind of quiet when they open. And let's do shoulder buttons. The Powkiddy's shoulder buttons stick out a little bit more. And they're a little quieter. Okay, so L1 and R1 are a little quieter on the Powkiddy. but R2 and L2 are louder on the Powkiddy. It's kind of interesting. And they both have the little back door for the battery. And of course, with the anbernic, you get the audio jack and the SD cards on the bottom. Same side, you get power and reset. Same side, you get volume. On the top, you get, of course, HDMI and USB-C. And this one, you just get 2 of the USB-C. So let's turn it on. Yeah, you get that bright green light down here, whereas the rest of them, you normally get it on the side right here, your LEDs, but Powkiddy, you get it down here at the bottom. Now, I feel like they should have taken a page out of GKD's book and made this type of design over here for a battery life indicator. I do like the opening Botocera little video, and it's kind of neat. It launches with Botocera on it. You know, that's kind of nice, since I really have never set up a Botocera handheld. Let me hit start. Let me lower the brightness. Let me find the brightness. Here we go. That's at 60%. Yeah, see it better? No. 1%. I can't see it for shit, but you can. So I just threw some ROMs on it for the hell of it. I will say, I mean, this is, you know, your standard Powkiddy screen, but it looks really good for some reason. Maybe I didn't pay attention. You guys probably are like, it's not the standard screen. They did something different. I have the cell page pulled up. I'll double check. But it seems like just a standard screen to me. But it looks good. They've done a very good job here. Maybe I'm still thinking of like the old V90 where the screen was but it looks good. So let's jump into some Game Boy. Let's just pick something here. Honestly, when I do a video, I hate this part. Picking a game. Let's play some Batman. And we'll kick on the 35XX here. Oof, loud. Now this isn't my handheld, so I'm not going to go through and do any permanent setting changes. But I will say about Botocera, this button doesn't do shit for you. Hold select, hit X to bring up RetroArch, and you know what I'm going to do already. I'm going to kill the overlays, I'm going to kill the shaders, I'm going to go scaling, aspect ratio full, because I like to utilize the full screen of every device, not giving a shit about integer scaling. So, and I threw together a card really quickly on this one. Since it's been sitting, I pulled the card. I'm using it somewhere else. And I don't even know why I do that. I have no idea why I keep doing that. But I keep pulling out SD cards from handhelds that are sitting and repurposing them. Like I don't have SD cards lying around. Anyway, let's jump over here. Load up the same game. What did I pick? I think I have the same game. Yep. God, I haven't even done. I am so lazy. I have got to make these changes permanent. And of course, this is using what do you call it? The Game Boy coloring. You know, I'm just gonna leave it. It's just Game Boy. So And let me kill the brightness. Okay. So I'm just going to leave the green tint on this one, since Game Boy's not make or break for these devices. But this is a good test, because I always wonder maybe I should leave Game Boy with the green tint, make it kind of true to it. But I prefer the Game Boy Pocket palette, so you get the grayscale over here. Ooh, let's do volume. Alright, the 35XX is muted. Okay, so Powkiddy. Alright, volume warning. I'm going all the way up. Okay, that's all the way. That's not super loud at all, since it's just that one mono speaker right here, which is more than likely back here, and then has a channel facing it up. So it's being, you know, funneled out front. But let's do facing away from you. It's about the same all around. It's not bad. It doesn't get super loud, as you can tell. So it's not gonna just, I mean, if you're in a room with a bunch of people and they're all doing different shit and you blast this, it's gonna annoy someone no matter what. But it's not awful. And I'd say at the lowest brightness setting, it wouldn't be too bad to play in a dark room. Personally, I leave a light on, but yeah, not awful. So let's jump over and do this one. Since you got the one right here in the middle, let's do a volume test with this. All right, going all the way up. Also not that loud. I always forget this isn't that loud. Alright, let's mute that. You know what? And I always pull this out when I do clamshells for fun. This almost has the same amount of buttons. You know what I mean? And I love my little fun keyS, man. I love these little things. I still want to collect like all the colors really badly. But that's an expensive collection at damn near 80 bucks a piece for these. It's dead right now because sadly they take micro USB, and I don't have a micro USB cable because this isn't the 1400s. Let's kick this one open. Pull out what is my current favorite clamshell device. The 34XX SP, which to me currently is king of the ring. This is above everything in my book. I love this handheld so much. Let's do a volume test on this one after we get a game started though, right? Because I'm stupid like that and I just want to do it. Let's do the same. Oh, I forgot this one's a little more. Yeah, these ones got a newer ROM list because I've updated it and I just pulled entire files or folders for these, whereas this one I didn't quite just pull the whole thing. So let's back out on these ones. Let's do something I have over here. Spending way too much time on Game Boy. I'm gonna leave the bezels and everything up this time though. Okay. Yep, now we'll volume test this one. Alright, going all the way up. Look, it's muted when it's behind you. I'm kidding. It's just because it went quiet. About the same, because you get the little same speaker right in the middle. sure brightness is down on this. All right, we're getting past Game Boy, guys. I'm sorry, I've been stuck. We're just sitting here on Game Boy nonstop. I don't even know why I restarted it on these. And when it comes to size comparison between these two, I'll do a little more accurate. This is just slightly smaller than the 35XX SP. I mean, slightly. So let's start over here. Let's do Game Boy Color. See, what I like about this is that this is all set up for that to just be the hotkey over here. So I don't have to do a combo button for this bullshit. You know, once in a while I do get lazy and just leave the shaders and the overlay and everything on and just run with it that way. Every once in a while I want to see like the Game Boy Advance logo down there while I'm playing a game just to fill out the screen. But then again, I like using the entire screen. I mean, if you gave me the weirdest ratio screen, I would still do this shit and just stretch it out. I don't think I've found a game yet that it bugs me that it's not like perfect integer scaling. Look at the 3 different colors we got going on here. This was a good one. I never thought to use this on the title screen. So just naturally open, like the first, as soon as you open it and it lays back in its natural position. If you can't tell, the 35XX SP does sit a little farther forward, whereas the 34 and the Powkiddy sit about the very same resting place there. That's interesting. But look at the color differences here. Let's see if I can... Nope, that's going to snap right back. Don't snap back. There we go. So the 35, now remember this is running MoveOS. The 35 here is really washed out. None of these colors really stand out to me. None of them look as good as they could. The 34, I love this. The blue is nice and dark in the water. The clouds look great. That's a good white color. And then it kind of hits that bluish gray on the way up. And then you get this yellowish 1942 along with the Capcom. The colors look great on this. Over here, you can kind of tell, but to me, in person, the blues are really purple on the Powkiddy. Really, really purple. So the water's more purple. The white's not bad. It's a little off. It's like not quite white. The yellow's really there. Like this is really yellow, and so is Capcom in comparison to the other two. But the blue is really, really purple. Here we go. It jumps right into red coloring. Okay. Once again, washed out, looking like shit on the 35. Really orange over here, kind of a light orange, and this is a darker orange. And then this is like, I don't even know what to call that. Like that's a dying lawn green, dying grass. That looks like the color of my yard. This is a nice dark green. Very, very nice. And this green over here is a lot brighter. So, yeah, this is a lot brighter. This is washed out looking like shit. This is nice, saturated, and dark. It's going to be really hard to beat the 34XX SP. And I'm trying to be just, you know, I'm not trying to be biased here because I love this one. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and ruin it, but overall, I think Powkiddy did an amazing job on this handheld. I think it's worth it. I think it's a great device to add to the clamshell list. Okay? This is one I would buy with intentions of customizing. Okay? I would buy this because I want to paint the shell, or I want to order buttons that are printed, you know, and really customize this one. So, and I would put the screen so far, the screen's better than the 35 and not quite as good as the 34. So, let's jump out of the Powkiddy. Let's do GBA, right? Can I go to just the bottom and find something? Oh, I got too many on this one. That's what I get for just throwing something on it. Let's just kick on Advanced Wars. Let's do the same over here. Oh. All right. We'll go ahead and leave the overlay on and the bezels. It's not that big of a deal considering I don't... Oh, well, it's not going to work for the 34 because I did actually save that to the 34. So let's make it fair. Damn it. Sorry, everybody. I forgot. I did actually save it for GBA, my settings. So there's no shaders, nothing, and it's running full screen. I talk about me being lazy and then realize I actually went ahead and did it, at least for one of the systems. And it's probably because I don't play Game Boy and Game Boy Color very much on these. I use my actual Game Boy Color and Game Boy Pocket most of the time. I'm not one of those types that, you know, it has to be original hardware or nothing. No, I just have a couple nice modded out Game Boys that you guys have definitely seen and are comfortable, and I like playing on them. Which I also have a mod retro chromatic that I like playing those games on. All right, let's get you guys standing up. Yeah, I'm not necessarily going into game performance yet because this is Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. It's going to run fine, all right? I believe this has the all-winner A133 in it. So your Trim UI Brick, your Trim UI Smart Pro, same shit. Look at that. Now, mind you, these are all lowest brightness settings, no overlay, no shader, full screen. These two are really close when it comes to the GBA coloring. They're not bad. I'd still give it to the Powkiddy, but just barely over. But damn, the 34XX, every color is just deep, it's dark, it's saturated, it's gorgeous. This really just kind of, this sets that just off, just way, way ahead of it. Now, you could always play with shaders and get this a lot closer to this. You can mess around and get it there. It just takes some doing. I like showing out-of-the-box stuff. Right here, that orange in the background and the blue is really helping show this. These two are pretty close. But then you go to green, but right there in the red, look at the coloring. Yeah, this, then this. Last low-end system I'm going to check is Super Nintendo because I loved Super Nintendo on the 34XX devices. I think it's a good fit. What's a good Super Nintendo game? Why not? I don't think I've saved stuff for those. I didn't. I still got bezels and shit on. Oh, not color thing back out. There we go. Let's get these propped up. This is going to be the last little color test. I'm not going to do it with PlayStation and all that shit. Yeah, that really puts these two very close. This one a little more washed out still. God, this thing jumps right into it, doesn't it? Yeah, see the blue on the mat. Really, really dark, really nice over here. Gloves, skin, all of it. It's just a little more washed out here than it is for the 34. So the 34 screen is still going to take the cake on this one. It still just sets itself apart. The screen is amazing. But now we're going to knock it off with the color comparisons. We're going to shut that one down. We're going to shut that one down. All right. We're already seeing that it's slightly smaller than that. We're going to retire this one. Everybody say bye to the 35. Let's do some size comparison here. I'm not going to do button press comparison because this is still just anbernic bullshit. But these two are very, very close in size. You can see the screen difference, the size there. Look at the big bezel. Seriously, if you've gotten this one by now, then you know this is not as bothersome in person as it is on video. Side by side. The Powkiddy is slightly thicker. I mean, this isn't scientific or nothing, but just next to each other. The Powkiddy is slightly thicker. Just close this up. The buttons are about the same. Powkiddy stand out a little bit more. All right. So let's do PSP real quick. I only threw one game on it. Video's running kind of long, I know. Time is it? Yeah, I'm gonna try and wrap this up in the next few minutes here. Get some volume back. Maybe not that much. Come on. Is that it? Okay, sorry, I haven't played this on PSP, so I got it all turned. But a little Crazy Taxi on PSP. Yep, I'm so used to other games, I'm hitting X for stuff. Yeah, so I'm just trying to cause havoc here to see. It seems to be running fine. Not really. Sound's not really lagging any. Alright, so PSP is okay. I mean, yeah, I'm not testing like God of War and shit. But just because I don't want to. God of War will probably run with some frame skip. I mean, like I said, it's the all-108 133, so what you get on the brick, what you get on the Smart Pro, pretty close. Let's do something uncomfortable. I'm gonna pull these two back out for a minute. Let's do a weight comparison. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter than this. No, I'm kidding. I really hate doing N64 and handhelds. Now, if you guys have been watching, there was a 8-bit though controller, or 8-bit though. I say 8-bit though. Anyway, they were doing an N64 layout controller. That last time I looked was on pre-order. It's probably out by now. I should probably pick one of those up and just Bluetooth that controller to one of these handhelds, and then I have an N64 style controller. So, and then the last time I did this, someone reminded me that you can hit like that button or a menu button and turn this into your analog stick. Oh, God. Look, guys, it runs N64 fine, but N64 is really uncomfortable on handhelds. I don't like playing N64 on handhelds. It doesn't feel right. The buttons aren't laid out right. And I hate, above all else, I hate sitting here fucking with button mapping, okay? Especially when I get like the RP5, there's a reason you don't see me playing like Wii games, because I hate messing with the button mapping, and that's the worst, because it's like, what do you want to do with the nunchuck? It's so frustrating. I hate it. Oh, cool. I exited. That's fine. That's a sign. Let's do Dreamcast. And this is also not for me. Oh, wait. I don't think. Yeah, I didn't put BIOS files and shit on it, did I? Oof. Maybe it already has them. Are we just gonna stay here? Yeah. Yep. I don't have any BIOS files or anything for it. It's not gonna run right. I do. I just didn't put them on here. I forgot to. It should run Dreamcast fine. Let's say, are you just giving up on me, or? Just have it here. I'm checking these. Journey back. Of course it's going to run PlayStation fine. This might be one of those where I would even consider doing PlayStation buttons on this and have a clamshell PlayStation handheld. You need to die, monster.
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh.
Just one time, I'd like to see Richter walk in and not say, die, monster. Just walk in, shank. Like, how does that feel, you old bitch?
You steal men's souls and make
Not
them
their souls.
slaves. Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
You think?
Your words are as...
All right. Jumping out of that. So overall, the Powkiddy V90S, I think, it's worth it. Okay. It is definitely worth it in my book. It comes with Botticera on it, so if you like Botticera, it's a win. I mean, there's some little quirks to mess with on Botticera, some things. You'll figure it out. Weight-wise, the 35 is slightly heavier. This is a very scientific way of measuring. These are close to the same. I'd say the 34 is slightly heavier. If other people did the whole scale thing, good for them. And if I'm wrong, I don't care. They're not. It's not like they weigh a ton, so stop, don't bitch about weight. Really? Look, if they release a handheld that's 10, 12 pounds, then I'll complain about weight. But anything, every handheld out there, none of them are that damn heavy, so let's not complain. You get into PC handhelds, that changes, but all right, let's talk about pricing. So the 35XX SP right now is on sale, so you can get it for $51.99. Let me make sure. Nope, sorry. I always price them at the 64, the base model, so let's do that. $41.99 for just the 64 gig, you know, base low end one for the 35XX SP, but that's on sale. That's saved $23. So originally $64.99. Anbernic does a lot of sales, but most, you know, just we'll say $65, okay? Because you're not always going to have that price. So $65 for the 35. Let's go over here to the 34. Make sure we're on the lowest. Oh, it's still pretty. Anyway, on sale. $5 off this one. But they're like, we need to move some of these 35, so we're going to do $23 off because Powkiddy has the V90 out, and we need to trample on their sales. So what did they do? They decided to drop this bitch by, wow, by $23 to make it compete. So that way, if you're considering the Powkiddy, but you love anbernic, you're going to buy the anbernic. Anyway, so back over here, $61.99 for $5 off. So we're just going to keep it at the original retail here, $67. So $65, $67. Let's jump to Powkiddy. Now this is the V90S, lowest possible options. Where are you at? Am I overlooking the price? No, oh, there it is, $44.99. Anbernic, really? Hey, it's marketing, man. It's business. So $44.99, so $45. So if you go back to original retail, $65, you're saving $20. You're saving $22 to get the V90S. And like I said, I think this one's absolutely worth it. Powkiddy, you did an amazing job with this one. I really don't have any complaints on it. You know exactly what you're getting. I don't see anything special with the screen here, so yeah, the screen just looks decent. Not as good as the 34, especially when you have the 34 sitting next to it. But yeah, for the budget price of $45, this is a win, since this will stay that price, if not go lower. Powkiddy, you killed it with this one. Good job. So, and then let's compare it to the fiberglass pick racket, their pickleball racket. You can get this with no SD cards, bare minimum here, no storage, no buttons, no screen, $19.99. Now the original price is $30, but if you get the PK2 rackets, two pickleball rackets, guys, not one. See how this is one and this is two? That's one. See here, you get one, but two over here for $35, and you can get a bag and balls. Who doesn't want a ball bag, right? You get online to do anything, the first thing you want to do is search up ball bag. Go to Google, type in, don't do that. Anyway, I just was having fun with that. Original V90. Let's see here. $39.99. $45, $39. If you want to do a comparison, sure. But guys, spend the extra $5, get the new V90S. Powkiddy doesn't really do a lot of sales. When they say sell, this is permanent. This sell has been going on since they've opened their doors, okay? They don't do sells. Everything's always on sell. So that's why I'm not saying it's actually $60. I have never seen this thing for $60. It has always been $40. 2-3 years ago for Christmas, this was a Secret Santa gift I threw in. I got a black one of these for it. It was $40. It's never not $40. So same over here. Well, actually, they didn't even do that bullshit over here. They just flat out, yeah, we're not stupid. So Spend the extra $5, get the V90S. Let's jump over here. So since this is in I don't have the Miyu flip on me, it's with its owner, my sponsor. If you want to spend the $65 on this janky piece of shit, and guys, I don't dislike Miyu, so the person that likes to follow me around going, but I don't believe that that's the Miyu. I can't believe you did that. Yeah, I'm intentionally sabotaging the fucking Miyu on a channel with less than 600 subscribers. I'm really making a difference. I like Miyu. This was a complete failure. This is not worth $65. The hinge is scary as shit. It's going to break. Everything sucks about it. It's awful. But I like Miyu, so I'm sorry this happened. But you guys never should have done this. You screwed it up. And you're suffering for it. This should not be $65. This should be about the Powkiddy price. Okay, this should be about $45, $50. This should not be $65. If you're torn between the Miyu or the V90S, the V90S is the way to go. Okay, this right here, in my book, worst handheld, or worst clamshell. Sorry, not the worst handheld. I would rather have this than the GKD Bubble. But yeah, that's right. Taking shots at GKD just out the blue there. Anyway, fuck you, GKD. The Miyu for that price, it's not worth it. And this is off the Miyu official store, $65, and this is just like the base 64 gig right here. It's nothing special. This thing, I couldn't spend my money on it because I am terrified the hinge is going to snap. It's just not that great of a handheld. And although these sticks are very, very close to these sticks, they're almost the same. These ones do feel slightly better. They may not be my favorite thing. This is probably the thing I dislike most about the 34 is those sticks, because I don't like Vita sticks. But they're usable. They're better than the Miyu. Since I showed it really quick, this is a Funky S. Here is that website. Here's your color options. $77 gets you a Funky S. My first Funky S was this one. Absolutely loved it. I bought my sponsor one of those ones, but the Funky S it's a novelty purchase, but it works. It runs stuff. You can even pull up a Google Doc that shows you every PlayStation 1 game that just uses L and R and doesn't need L2, R2, and there's a good list of those, so you can still play PlayStation on it. I love the Funky S. I really do. You know, it's still one of my favorites. And for the hell of it, if you want to go original hardware, I buy shit off of Mercari. So this is, of course, what I'm going to use to price it. But you can get a regular SP just looking around. And you know you need to look if it's like the 101 and has the backlit screen, or if it's not. But you're looking between $60 to $80. And remember, you can make offers to people. But then you got over here with the, the RGB board in it and all that, new shell, new buttons, new screen, $300, which there's cheaper ones that have been massively that have all that in it also. Typically you'll find ones just like this for $250. Every once in a while you might see one for $180. But so if you want to go original hardware, that's what you're spending. If you want a good screen and all the newer stuff, you're going to be throwing $200 at it anyway. If you really love original hardware, then yeah, it'll be worth it for you. But other than that, I mean, you could buy damn near 10 of the Powkiddys for the price of that thing. And if you really want to go dumb with it and throw a lot of money, get you one of these. The GBA hinged from Boxy Pixel. All aluminum buttons and shell. Etched. Love this thing. Very satisfying to open and close it. Oh, so nice. Anyway. Sorry. Alright, guys. We're going to wrap this shit up. We're 45 minutes in. I got to get my ass to work. So, let's go ahead and do the breakdown here. Yeah. The buttons are fine. D-pad's fine. I mean, they're not like the greatest, not the worst. This window's weird, but it doesn't take away or add anything to the handheld. It's, I don't know, maybe put some lights in there. You know what I mean? No, don't do that, because that would just annoy the shit out of me. I have no idea. You know what I mean? Like, I almost want to put like a little black and white screen right there that has, I don't know, stats on it, like temperature, shit like that. But it's a fucking handheld. There's really no point to that. It's an all-winner A133. It's a $45 handheld. Anyway, so for 45 bucks, get this over the Miu Mini or the Miu Flip. Absolutely. If you were between the 35XX and this, go with this. Really, the only budget clamshell I would get over this is the 34. So if you don't want to spend 60 bucks, but you want a good clamshell, you know, handheld emulator, damn, Powkiddy's the way to go right now. They take second place in my book, guys. This little $45 Powkiddy has just beat out the rest of them. Okay? It's this, then this. So, if you're going budget, or if you don't mind spending $67, go for this. If you want to do 45, this is the clear winner. So, this has now fallen to about third, second. But if you guys have one of these, let me know what you think. But like I said, with the longer this is out and released and available and people are buying it, as time passes, more and more things will become available for it. You'll be able to get, you know, buttons for it will be out there everywhere. There'll be all kinds of different things you can buy. So consider getting this, using it, and if you want a handheld to customize and go that route, this isn't a bad purchase for that. You know what I mean? Throw $45 at it, customize the hell out of it, make it yours. But Powkiddy, this is a win. You guys have been doing great since the RGB 30. You may not release shit as fast as anybody else in the market. You may just come out the blue with, hey, we're releasing this. You don't even make people excited, really. You're just like, handheld? You guys, handheld? But it works, okay? And you guys are doing an amazing job. The quality keeps getting better and better, Powkiddy, and yet you're keeping your prices low. You are still beating everybody else in pricing and producing amazing stuff like this. That's great quality. So, Powkiddy, I absolutely support you guys. You've done such a good job. I'm beginning to be a big Powkiddy fan, I guess. Anbernic still takes it for me. They are still my #1 company. I love Anbernic. They've never done me wrong. But Powkiddy got it. Tell me what you guys think. What's your take on the V90S? If you have one, what do you think about it? If you're in the market for one, did I just persuade you to go with the Powkiddy, or did I persuade you to grab an anbernic? Let me know in the comments, of course. So, yeah. All right, I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm going to get my ass to work.